Oh, it has been quite some time. Hello. I hope everyone has been doing well. You know, humility to me, especially when it comes to knowledge, is pretty important. To be comfortable with the fact that maybe you just don't know everything that there is to know, especially about subjects that you don't know, that you don't know much about, and you wish you knew more about, but you just don't. And I know that we live in a world where you can just, quickly do a Google search on something and you can appear to be really quite intelligent. But what I think is more important than being intelligent is keeping yourself open to the notion that you don't know everything, and it's perfectly okay to admit that. It's perfectly okay to learn about these things. And maybe, definitely, not even maybe, there was a point in my life where I thought I knew everything, or I wanted to give the impression to certain people who I wanted to impress that maybe I was a little more smarter than I was letting on, even though I am comfortable with the notion that I'm a pretty fairly intelligent human being. But what I've come to learn is that it's a lot simpler, and it is a lot more intellectually honest to, and it's a lot healthier too, to just say, I don't know, so let's find out. Let's ask somebody, let's look something up, let's get our hands dirty. Or I'm not trying to sound like one of those um conservative people who thinks that the answer to everything is hard work. What I mean by getting your hands dirty is, doing the thing so you can learn about the thing. It's really important, and I say it's healthy because I'm somebody who was raised with the specter of intelligence always over my head. My dad constantly, if I did anything wrong, you're supposed to be smarter than this. Oh my God. So I carried that with me into adulthood. If I didn't get something right on the first, second, or third try, I was stupid, didn't know what I was doing. I'd get really mad. And, that was really not beneficial to me or anyone around me in any way. Why am I even talking about this? Well, it's kind of simple. It's growing a little bit alarming, unless this is just some fake shit or AI content driving thing where you've got all these people in the comment sections of videos where people are sharing their knowledge, their expertise, experts. I follow a lot of these people doing all sorts of things that I don't even necessarily do myself, but I'm interested in because I've always been interested in people who want to share their knowledge freely with the world, even if they're shilling for some stupid sports, well, whatever it's called, DraftKings or whatever. They got some sponsor, whatever. They're sharing their knowledge with me, and I appreciate that, and I watch them. It could be anybody. It could be a metal worker, it could be a woodworker, it could be an auto mechanic, it could be a survival expert. It could be, I don't know, a circus performer. Like people, and especially people who give like these insights into the tools of their trade or the way that they do things. That's really fun for me to watch. So I do watch a lot of these reels, and I try to only follow, certain pages so I don't get lost in the muck of all the other feces out there that you see. And you go in the comments, and the courage that it must take, even if you're just trolling, the courage that it takes to allow yourself to look so stupid that you would tell Mike Portnoy or Steve Gadd or Neil Peart or any drummer who has been drumming for decades that, I don't know, man, I think I could do that part a little bit better. That drum sounds a little bit out of tune. I don't know. I think that self awareness is just, if they ever had it to begin with, it went out the window a long, long time ago. Now, having an opinion, of course, if you thought something sucked, if you thought maybe something could have been made better with this thing or that thing, okay, that's fine. But we live in a world of analysis. And I guess I first noticed this as a sports fan when I lived in the US. As I got older, Sports Center became just this cavalcade of announcers or analysts. It was like a sports news type newscast, and it just became this clusterfuck of former athletes just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. You know, it's the same with politics, and it's the same with singing competitions and reality TV. You've got shows, you know, where people are just breaking down and analyzing, breaking down and analyzing, breaking down and analyzing. And, you know, I'm an analytical person. Sometimes it's good. Most of the time, it's crap. Superfluous, unnecessary, just like saying unnecessary after the word superfluous, crap that we don't fucking need. But we got to create jobs, I guess, for these people once they retire. And we've got to create a reason for people to stay busy on the internet doing anything but learning. Rather, going into the comment sections of a survival expert, and this is a person whose biggest feat of survival is waiting out a 15-minute internet outage during a Call of Duty marathon. They're going to tell them that they're doing something wrong, or that that's not the way that they would do it. That's not the way that it should be done. Should be done on a drum video, or some, you know, especially drumming. I watch a lot of drumming videos. I don't play drums anymore, but you'll get some schmuck whose biggest feat of coordination is holding a beer in one hand and a hot dog in the other while talking at the same time. And they're going to tell someone who's playing an absolute perfect time that that part was a little bit just you know, I think it was a little out of time. I have my metronome. I put my metronome to it, and you're out of brains. You know, like it's wild to me. It's so wild that I decided to make a video about it, because the lack of humility, the lack of self-awareness, the lack of intelligence, the lack of critical thinking required, like, it's astounding to me. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am. Like, and I shouldn't be watching so many of these videos. I get that. I don't need you to tell me that. But it's very interesting to me to watch people do the things that they do. Not so much street fights, not so much videos of people getting hit in the balls. They can be fun every now and then, but just people doing their stuff, doing their thing. And it's just so hard for me to avoid the comment sections, because it's just some impulse in my brain. I used to make these videos about stupid comments. I used to comb through these comments looking for ones to critique, and, you know, that's just like this impulse. And, you know, should I be so surprised in a world where a person like Donald Trump can still have this much of a backing? A professional liar, like people say all politicians are professional liars. Yeah, okay, but we're talking like Donald Trump, the king, the absolute king. Well, no, Hulk Hogan is actually the king of lying. Trump is like a court jester in you know, the monarchy of liars, and just it's not just the lying, but it's this pretension that what he's saying is the absolute gospel truth, to the point where, you know, one of the most morally bankrupt humans on the face of the earth has got the backing of so many evangelical Christians and moral leaders of this world. In a world like this, should I really be surprised that we have so many of these imbeciles on Instagram reels and Facebook videos and reels offering their advice, your fucking advice? Mike Portnoy doesn't need your advice on how to be a drummer. All right. Michael Schumacher doesn't need your advice on how he can shave. Well, actually, no, he doesn't. Oh, but that's a bad example. Helio Castroneves, sure, doesn't need your advice on how he can shave a few seconds off of his lap time. Like, this is stuff that's just. And sports, especially, like, as a sports fan for about 30 years now, like, I've been watching sports fans. They're dumb. Sorry, sports fans, but you might be intelligent in other areas, and you might be like really intelligent in general, but when you start talking about sports, you're dumb. And you prove it time and time and time again. Um, you know, like it's mesmerizing how many people whose, you know, Their greatest accomplishments were in like seventh grade or junior varsity football, and then they're gonna tell Marshawn Lynch. Is that another bad example? Is Marshawn Lynch even playing football? I haven't watched football in a long, long time. You know, telling the dude who throws the egg how to throw the egg a little bit better, or maybe get a tighter spiral. Like these are some of the lowest common denominator morons, and again, it's really hard for me to believe that there are people out there who are so willing to make themselves look so stupid. So I think maybe it's an engagement driving a shit pot stirring thing where we've got some people behind these accounts who are just trying to artificially. But then again, in a world like this where Donald Trump and so many other demagogues and politicians, not just in the US, but the world over, have got so many followers, so many shills, so many people willing to sniff their fucking filthy underwear just to spread their bullshit word. Man, we live in a really weird timeline, and that's not the first time you've heard me say that. We live in a really fucking weird timeline. In 100 years from now, when if humanity survives that long, when they're making their documentaries about the internet, the golden age of the internet, man, I wish I could be around to watch that shit, because those are gonna be some really fun documentaries. Probably. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Maybe I'll be back around a little bit sooner for the next video, but who knows? For those of you who didn't know, I am starting my bachelor's degree soon. Oh my god. And I've been studying Finnish pretty intensely, so not a whole lot of time to do these sorts of things. And I've got my own personal life issues going on, which when do I not have those? um, but be a little more humble, maybe. Like not just for the sake of not looking like an idiot, but for the sake of your own mental health. Especially if you're somebody who has been told by many people, or you grew up being told a lot that you're really smart, and you know it's a lot healthier and a lot more honest to yourself to just say, okay, just drop what you're doing, say, I don't know how to do this, will you show me? Or go to YouTube and watch a video or whatever. Okay? Could you imagine of any of the great feats of modern history, human history, any of the greatest feats, if any of these people just went, oh god, I suck at this, I didn't get it right the first time or the first 3 times, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere, wouldn't have done anything, wouldn't have gone to the moon, wouldn't have invented anything worth a fuck. Maybe we could have done better by keeping Elon Musk out of just completely out of public view and out of sight and out of mind. Okay, I'm going to end this video now because it's long. Have a good day, folks.